Tell me, if I democratically voted or convinced enough people to democratically vote to get rid of democracy, what did I do wrong?
Democratically voted to get rid of democracy?
What did I do wrong?
Well, you can vote for whatever you want.
Right, but if I democratically vote to remove democracy and rights from everybody, tell me why that's actually wrong other than your preference.
There could never be a situation in which you can vote in a democracy to remove democracy, could there?
Yes, you could do it right now.
Oh, by voting for Trump?
Yeah. Don't you think he's a tyrant trying to take away your rights? Well, I mean, yeah, so yeah, you could use democracy.
Wait, don't you like not even believe in like full-on democracy? Do you
No,
have, like, some sort of belief in, like,
don't
stakeholder
pivot.
democracy?
Don't
I'm
pivot.
just curious.
That's bad faith. So the thing
I
is,
just got distracted. That's not bad
hang on,
faith.
let's move back to good faith. What do you ground rights in other than your preference? Just things you prefer. What would it actually be grounded in? You can't ground it in the law.
When you say grounded in, what do you mean by that?
Well, so if you say, I'm going to ground my belief in the law, that means that's what the justification is the law. But if you make the justification that the law is what's correct, then if I change the law, then it's still correct.
Are you asking me how should we decide like what rights
No, I'm
we
asking
give to
how you
people?
ground it. The thing in which you create the justification for it existing in the first place. What is the justification for a right other than you prefer that thing?
That people in society should be treated a certain way. And that's not a personal preference. That's a collective preference in this country, for example.
So it's preference.
Sure.
Okay, so then it's preference. So your personal preference right now aligns with most people's preference. Hang on.
But it's sort of a universal
hang on.
preference.
I'll let you do an internal critique back, I promise.
okay.
If it's the case that your preferences align with other people's preferences, and that creates your justification, then if my preferences align with other people's preferences, we're equally justified, right?
And that's just having different interests within a democracy. Sure.
Well, then if that's the case, then if men collectivize and their preferences outweigh women's and they take all your fucking rights away, tell me what they're actually doing wrong.
Well, that's undemocratic.
Why is that wrong other than your preference, though? It's not, right?
I mean, it's not constitutional.
And the Constitution is a collective of preference?
Yeah, that we, like, yeah.
Yeah. So then, if that's the case, if everything just boils down to what you prefer, then the second men decide to the second men decide to and prefer to stuff your asses in cages, then they're equally justified.
You keep talking.
Hang on. How would they not be equally justified if they're just using the same standard you are, preference?
Because when you keep attaching personal preference to what I'm saying and thinking, but don't you believe there's some kind of like, I mean, based on like reason, like rationality, like I don't want to use the word objective, but universally we have like, I mean, you could look across religions, across cultures, across cultures. There's like universal understandings of maybe people should be treated this way. This thing is the right thing. This thing is the wrong thing. Even like in a secular context.
Can I tell you about a little island off the coast?
I'm talking about patterns
called Papua New Guinea. Let me explain about this little island.
Are we working in exceptions
in Papua New? Well, okay. I'm just saying, like, listen. I'm not going to bring that up, even though it's hilarious to do. I'm just going to point this out. Your argument is circular. You're saying me and the collective prefer this thing, and that's what makes it justified. And I say, okay, that's fair.
That's not even about preference. It's like universal understandings that benefit.
Are universal standards unchanging?
Mostly, I'd say.
They're unchanging?
They can change, but like a lot
okay, then they're not
universal
unchanging.
Understandings are unchanging.
Unchanging means can't change.
I'd say there are plenty that don't change.
Okay,
like,
can't. Then I'm not asking about do or don't.
Like
I'm asking about can or can't. Are universal preferences unchanging? That means cannot change.
I would say the most universal preferences can't change.
They can't?
They often don't.
What?
Okay, like let me give you an example. If you have a law that says don't kill people, like throughout history that law's been enforced across
except
culture.
in Somalia.
Is there a law in Somalia that says you can't?
Yeah, there's anarchy. There's no government.
Do most countries let you kill people?
What? Wait, you said can't. Can't. Can't's a definitive. It means cannot.
Okay, I'm talking about a pattern here, a trend here.
Yeah, I'm talking about a trend here too.
So Somalia is the trend and the pattern?
The trend,
it's one country.
No, the trend is just preference.
If you can point to majority of countries and majority of
the majority of countries, women have no fucking rights.
Do they in most countries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything else
Well,
you wanted to add to that? So the universal preference must be that you don't get any fucking rights.
In those countries, are they democratic?
No. What do they need
Do you
to be?
think if they suddenly were democratic, then that could change? That in those countries, suddenly women could gain access to
I don't
rights?
know.
If
Iraq is democratic now, and I don't know about the whole women's rights thing there.
In Afghanistan, if you gave women, if you implemented democracy,
who gave
there,
them that? Who?
well, I mean,
Who?
if men suddenly gave women the right to vote,
If men suddenly gave women rights, that's crazy.
And they're only really incentivized to do
Whoa.
that when they need their votes.
That's crazy. If men gave women rights, the women could do stuff. I'm fucking razzle-dazzled by this argument.
no
Tell
one
me
ever
more.
said no one ever said men were physically weaker or had less of a monopoly.
Well, I'm just saying, you're just saying to me that if men happen to give women the right
I've
to vote...
agreed with you this whole time that men are stronger and can
but
physically
that's not what
overpower
we're talking
women.
about. We're talking about if men gave women the right to vote right now.
Also, that's a pivot from what I'm saying. Which
It's not.
literally-
You said if men in Afghanistan suddenly gave women the right to
We're
vote,
talking
then
about-
things would sure change. Yeah, no shit.
No shit. I'm talking
No
about
shit.
universal understandings, and you're drawing this back to forced doctrine.
Okay,
What I was saying.
I thought we were talking about forced doctrine.
Oh, what is it?
Barrier Wisdom
Really
donated
quick.
$1,000.
Sorry for the delay.
Moment of silence for our fallen Corporal Meyer, USMC 2024, the Kabul 13 Gate, and all who fell from Fallujah to Kabul. We remember. We honor. We will not forget. Happy Veterans Day. Semper Fidelis.
Barrio Wisdom, thank you for the champagne pop. Appreciate it. Sorry if you guys want to continue.
One for
I love a good argument.
One for the
guys.
devil. One for the devil dogs, I guess. Sorry that your friend passed, man. Anyway, yeah. Back to this. It sounds like everything you say just reinforces
What
forced
I was
doctrine.
saying when I was talking about universal understandings, because you were saying like, oh, in a lot of countries,
Well, actually, I'll have beer.
women don't have rights.
Continue.
I was saying that if you suddenly gave everyone the right to vote in a lot of these countries where women don't have rights, then maybe women would not be as oppressed.
Wait, say
in
that
those
again.
countries.
I want to make sure I got that right.
We were talking about universal understandings and like morals, right?
Yeah.
And then you mentioned like, oh, well, in a lot of countries, like majority of countries, women don't have rights. And I said, well, that has a lot to do with the fact that those countries are undemocratic and controlled by men.
Yeah.
If they suddenly were democratic, that would change. Based on
Sure.
the fact that most people
And who would have
would look
to,
out more for women, which
who
is a
would have
universal
to-
understanding.
Who would have to make them democratic?
What I'm trying to prove right now at this point is that there's a concept of universal understandings and morals.